Naim's just got a nude, bro. That's why he's smirking.
No.
That 100 squat challenge paying off, bro.
Challenge, bro.
Boys, just stay there a minute.
That squat challenge.
Bro, hurry up. We're recording, you melt.
Naim's going to have that Eden Hazard bag.
That's why we needed Matt. That's why we needed Matt for comments like this.
I'm nervous. It's my debut.
Jeez. You mad.
Hi guys, welcome back to the third episode of What's New Lads Time to Talk. Thank you very much to everyone that watched the last episode. We had a lot of fun recording that one. Again, thank you to the people that interacted with the Instagram this week and sent in their questions. This week it's all about the guide to a uni life and sort of our sort of like reality sort of take on it. This week we have myself, Naim, Pat, Luke, and a debut for Theo and Matt. Say hello, guys.
Right, guys.
So yeah, just to kick things off of how we do on this show, what's new, lads? How's everyone's weeks been?
It's been all right. Nothing really new at all.
Nice.
Yeah, no,
the same week every week, you know.
Yeah, my week was pretty much the exact same as it was last week. I haven't really done anything new. Had a bit of a shitty week at work, but it wasn't too bad.
Why shitty though? Just people or?
Don't know, man. I think just lockdown at the moment is kind of, I don't know, it's getting to me.
What about you, Pat?
Yeah, I've had a pretty tough week, to be fair. I had to take 2 days off at work due to like just wasn't feeling well. It was hitting me, the lockdown, a little bit. With everything that's going on, so I just needed to take some time to myself and just rest in bed, which in a sense it does help, but it doesn't, because it's the same thing that you're doing if you're on furlough, whatever you're doing, you're trying to find something to do when there isn't really much to do. I just miss going out, going to the gym and seeing my friends and, you know, doing the stuff that I want to do rather than, you know, the stuff that I only can do at the moment and looking for stuff. So yeah, but I'm better now. Feeling better. Yeah. Feeling better. Had a chat with a couple of my mates and stuff, just caught up with a couple of people, spoke to my parents, which made me feel much better. And yeah, like we're grafting, boys. We're grafting. We have to get through this.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I think following on from my sort of shitty week last week, everyone's sort of like feeling it now. Because like it's just so long, and it's coming up to a year.
Spoke into existence.
Yeah, pretty much. I put it into the universe now. Just fucked everyone's weeks up. So sorry for that, lads.
You started it, Greg. You started this, Greg.
My affirmations.
Cheers,
I need to stop. But no, yeah, my week weren't too bad. Got an interview tomorrow on Friday, which is pretty good. Yeah, man, just been chilling. Was a little bit the same as you, Pat. Like I just needed to take a few days off to just sort of pay attention to how I was feeling throughout this lockdown. Obviously, like with doing this podcast, we're trying to promote speaking out and whatnot and understanding what's going on with yourself. Whereas I was sort of not doing that in myself, if that makes sense. So yeah, I just sort of took a few days to realize what I'm going through, recognizing it, and just sort of, you know, seeing how I can sort of get back to where I was. And
it does take time, though. I think it doesn't take a day to do that. Like, you know, you need to start somewhere and just build from it. You know, definitely. you hear all over the news of all the stuff that's happening with, you know, mental health and everything, and I think it just puts a big down on people reading all that stuff, because you don't really see anything positive on the news anymore, do you?
No.
Not at all.
Yeah, especially if you're an Arsenal fan. But anyway, we will carry on. So yeah, obviously this week is about the reality of uni life. Luke, do you sort of want to take this one away?
Yeah, go on. I wanna start about talking about like its ups and downs. I know all of us had so many ups, but I mean, you kind of forget to talk about the downs. You don't actually, like, even between us, we would only talk about the ups. We would never really talk about the downs. So I kind of want to get that across from everyone. I want to ask Matt how he was kind of. This is like his big intro, so it better be good, Matt. I want to ask you on kind of how you found it, like your ups and downs.
I'm trying to think where a lot of my downs came from in uni. I think maybe if I got like the odd bad grade, I could sort of come back to that, study more, get in the library more, which I didn't find too hard. Maybe football, if we had like some bad results, we'd always work on it in training. I think other than that, uni wasn't too difficult for me.
I think how would you get over those downs though? Like, how would you pick yourself back up?
I guess it's always just work. You have to just keep working on things, whether that's like academically or like relationships or something personal you're trying to achieve in like sports or like a hobby on the side. You just got to keep working.
I wanted to ask you, Matt, this question. How did you find it? Which I always try to ask people. How did you find it? Because all of us lived on campus and you lived off campus.
Yeah.
How did you find that?
I don't know, like, I guess at times like major FOMO, which a lot of you could probably tell because I was just always about when I could be.
He was there every second.
Guy.
He was.
Yeah. I think that's one thing as well. If I could change, maybe potentially like move on to campus a bit sooner than I did. But on the plus side, I saved quite a bit of money. But
yeah,
it was just like a case of like putting in a bit more extra effort for me. So like I didn't miss training or like going out nights out. I'd always have friends like you guys who would hit me up, be like, you can shower here after training if you want. You don't have to go home again and come back to campus. Like, things like
fucking stink.
Yeah, exactly.
But have you boys realised that Matt was always there? It doesn't matter who he was with. Like, you can get a text from any of you. Yeah, I'm with Matt.
Bro.
I'm with Matt. Just he was there all the time.
Next mayor of London, bro.
Oh, the worst thing with Matt is the fact that like I'll be like, yeah, obviously in like second year, third year, I'll have pre's at my house. I'd say, look, Matt, 9 o'clock, be at my house. No later, no earlier. The guy's here at 8:30. I'm in the shower. I'm like, Matt, stay outside. I'm showering. The guy, bro, Matt, how many times did I let you into my house? I was in shorts and nothing else, just shorts. I'm like, yo, bro, sit down.
Well, it was because from where I had to travel to campus, it was like I'm gonna be really late or kind of early. It was kind of hard to get it like directly on time. And
you always got it wrong. He was always early.
Yeah,
Naim's the worst when it comes to timings though. Naim's the worst.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure.
Yeah.
You got to add 30 minutes on to whatever he says.
Naim timing.
But do you guys remember Matt always coming with a blue bag with Guinnesses in it with four cans
a cherry B or a Magnum or something.
Yeah, man.
It's the Irish blood.
Night off, right?
Matt's nervous. Look.
You know, after you win a war zone, you're like.
So obviously, following on from Matt, we want to talk about obviously the other side of things and the good sides of university as well, because I think it's really important to sort of understand both, especially looking back on it. Like it is such a balance. Like uni can give you such of the highest highs, but then sometimes it give you like the lowest of lows, because not only do you have to focus on things academically, but like Matt said, like you have to focus on, you know, relationships and, you know, your sort of like social circles and keeping like your mental health stable, because uni can be one of two things. And I think it can be either the best time of your life where you make so many friends, or it can probably be one of the like loneliest sort of periods, because, and I'd hate to say it, but like if you're not in like a clique at uni or part of something, you'll get left behind. Do you know what I mean? And that can be a sort of horrible place to be. Like for me, in my first year, I lived in Spring Mews, so I was never on campus because, you know, I sort of didn't think that I needed to live on campus because I had other friends in London. But looking back, I wish I lived on campus because, you know, I got into a bit of sort of trouble, like with myself, living in central London, away from people, not really having friends to sort of say, don't do this and whatnot. So yeah, I think the best thing that anyone can do is just sort of like chuck themselves in the deep end and stuff like that. But let's get on to Theo. So Matt spoke about his downs. Let's talk about your ups. So what are sort of like the best memories of, you know, your university experience?
It's hard, you know, because like I feel like there was so many. But I think like obviously meeting you lot obviously led me to like a lot of like further things to do, like a lot of fun. But yeah, I think the thing is with uni, once it's done, yeah, after 3 years, you think like, shit, that went so quick. And you get to like near the end of your third year and you think like, what was like, I don't really even remember what happened in my first year and stuff like that. But I think like the most important thing is to try and get involved, and try new things as well. Like uni is like so there's literally so much to do. There's always like things to get involved with, or something that you can try and make a change to. But I think it's important to like really like chuck yourself in the deep end and like get involved with things.
Yeah. Have you ever experienced, like, from what I went off, like times of perhaps loneliness and stuff like that, like trying to adapt to like moving away from home, living by yourself, looking after yourself? Did you ever experience that, or did you just have fun all the time?
You know what? I feel like I had, kind of just had fun. Like when I first went to uni, it was like I wanted to kind of get away from being like back home. So I kind of enjoyed like just living by myself and having like my own space and stuff. And then it was like the further it got in, I think one thing that you always need to remember is when you first get to uni, like not everyone is your friend. Like you meet a lot of people over the first few months, but you need to remember not all of them are going to be your friends. So don't be telling about your business, especially if you go to like a small uni like we did. Like you've got to remember that the people you meet in the first few months, you're kind of just chucked with them. You're chucked into halls. You don't really know them. You don't know who's going to end up being who's friends in a few months. So like their first few months, you've got to like kind of find your feet. And I think for someone that's like someone like kind of like not similar to me, that's quite quiet, they can probably find that like quite lonely. And I think as well, it's difficult when you're trying to balance social life, like if you've got a job as well and uni life. It can be like quite a lot to do. I found like when I was writing my dissertation and I was working like 2-3 long days a week, it can be quite hard.
The old hare and tortoise days, mate.
Exactly. It can be, you work long days, like 11, 12-hour shifts, and then you get back and you're just like, I don't want to do work, it's too late. I'll do it tomorrow. But
so you just put your dressing gown on, the first time I saw Theo, you was just in his dressing gown.
Mate, I've still got that.
You still got it.
So thank you for sharing that, Theo. So obviously, Pat, I'll get this one to you next. So what would you say to probably someone that knows nothing about university? What would you say they need to expect? The sort of like the good things and the bad things.
I think what they need to expect is that they're going to get thrown in a deep end with people that they wouldn't necessarily get along previously. You're going to meet, like Theo touched up on that, you're going to get a lot of people that you just couldn't imagine being friends with, but then you sort of have to get along with them because you live with them. So I would just think, just take stuff easy, because from my experience, the first week of uni, everyone tries to be so friendly, and then you join into different groups that with people that you get along with the most.
Yeah.
And I think just from my experience, I would just say, just take it slow, because I tried to be a chameleon and just get fit with every single one of the groups, and I didn't necessarily like everyone.
Yeah, well, I got stuck with all you lot, so yeah.
Just because you had no one else, mate.
Oh, you're lucky.
No one else.
You're lucky. There's been so many people at university which I think they've quit after the first week, month or so, because they just couldn't handle it, being away from parents, being alone.
For someone that's like maybe quiet and stuff, it can be kind of overwhelming, like moving into a place surrounded by, you can be in a flat of like up to like 20 people sometimes.
Yeah, bro.
You can like be surrounded by a lot
Bede
of people.
was 28.
Yeah,
Bede was 28
be
people.
Surrounded by a lot of people that maybe you can't really see yourself getting on with, and it's just a bit like straight away that puts you in like, okay, well maybe I won't like get involved with stuff. And then maybe if they don't have similar interests to you, for them it's going to be a lot more difficult than maybe for people like us who will like happily go about and chat to people and get a bit stuck in.
I think you have to find your own group, really. I think you have to join a community, a sports team, join a music group or whatever you want to do, just to get involved with the things that you like to do, because there's so many opportunities at uni. There's so many sports teams, whatever teams there are, that you can be a part of, and you would feel more at home, really.
100%.
With that,
I think like societies are like one of the biggest things. Like there is literally a society for everything, and if there isn't, then you can start one. And if you start one in, I'm pretty sure there's probably 10 other people like that go to the uni that are probably involved, like interested in that as well, that just don't really maybe don't have the knowledge on how to start it up. One person will start it, then suddenly you've got 15 people in your group. Like That's the way to make friends, I think. Do you know what I mean? It's
there's so many societies. I joined an African Caribbean Christian group in my first week at uni.
Nice.
I can tell by
why did I do?
You, mate.
You can tell.
Matt was
I was like, I'm just going to join everything.
Yeah, the thing is, you only need like 6 people to start a society. So if you want to do like an alcohol fucking binging like society, I'm sure there's more than 6 people that want to do that. But I think for me, I'd say the biggest like sort of advice as such is just be yourself, because you'll get found out in the end. Like I've seen it where people either like bring their friends up to uni, and then you see them acting like they're different, and you just think you're clearly putting on like a front. Like you can easily tell if someone's literally just sort of like not being themselves. And don't get me wrong, like uni's like such a good opportunity to like, you could say reinvent yourself, but don't forget who you are, because not only will people catch you out, but you'll catch yourself out. And then like Pat said, like you'll just get like lonely, and then you'll get like exhausted of trying to be like this character, trying to be like the comedian or something like that. So to anyone, just be yourself, man. Obviously, act a little bit different. That's absolutely fine. But just don't forget who you are, because uni is a big place and people will catch you out. And like I said with the cliques, I think people are very sort of quick to sort of like cast people out unless you've got like a good set of friends. Like, for example, us with the football team, I think we've all done a pretty good, like stellar job of just, looking out for each other. Obviously like remaining friends, because it's difficult as well. There's a lot of people that I don't speak to anymore. But you can also tell that your friends are like genuine. Do you know what I mean? There was never really anyone in that team that was like, you're just being a wanker. Like, you're not actually like who you say you are. But yeah, moving on. So I want to give this to Naim. So what sort of advice would you give yourself as a fresher? Because you've had, I know we banter you like every day, but you've had obviously like a bit of a weird uni experience, because you're still doing some of your uni work now. Yeah. So what sort of advice would you give yourself?
You know what? I would say academically, definitely crack on. Have as much fun as you can first year. Crack on.
You are such a smart individual.
I know.
I think he's still doing his uni work.
No, seriously, honestly, like as a fresher, I would say, just crack on with your work. Because at the end of the day, if you don't crack on with your work, the whole reason you came to uni was to obviously get your degree. So that's one thing I kind of messed up on. But I don't know if you guys know, but when I was in first year, I was part of the football team. I don't know if you knew that, but I never came to any socials at all.
Yeah,
not one.
He didn't.
Not one, because I was under the cuff. Like Greg's doing there. Look, under the cuff.
Awful.
Yeah,
Serious.
under the thumb.
King Kong thumb, mate, a big thumb.
Yeah, it's just, I would say as a
moving on. Moving on.
Yeah, moving on from that. Yeah, just get on with your work. Make sure you have fun, and just integrate with the group. Because if you don't, like Greg said, you will get left behind. You just have to put yourself in, throw yourself into the deep end and just make friends, but at the same time, obviously focus on your work. And yeah, if you can get the balance of social life and academics, then you'll smash it.
I think, Theo, you made a really good point. It's like not telling, like, especially when you meet new people, not telling people your business too quickly. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Because like I'm not speaking from personal experience, but like there's people out there that will try and literally, make you look like a mug. Like they want to see you fail. Do you know what I mean?
People out there that want to. Do you know what I mean? Everyone loves to talk, yeah. But there's
that's the thing.
People that will always. Do you know what I mean? They want to spice things up. Maybe their life's a bit boring themselves or stuff like that. So it's like.
I think the moral of the story is just be careful who you tell people, like who you talk to and stuff like that.
The university is so small, and everyone just knows everyone.
If everyone knows everyone, one person tells one person. One person.
It will spread so quickly.
In the rondo.
Yeah. Next thing comes back round to you, and the story's changed 28 times. You've heard a new thing about yourself, and you just think, mad.
I mean, I'm going to give this next question to Matt. Or actually, no, I'm going to give this question to Luke.
Bros, I'm in a different place now. I'm back.
Yeah, you're back. Luke, I'm going to give you this question.
Go on.
So was uni really as good as people like make it out to be? Like, would you say to someone if they're 18, like, listen, go to uni, do what I did,
Don't do what he did.
Have a laugh, have some good times and whatnot.
You know what, that's chucking me straight in the deep end.
Yeah, that's where you learn how to swim.
I mean, I went to Liverpool a year before I went to Roehampton, so I kind of knew what to expect from uni at that time anyway. When I went, I don't know, can you say it again? Just so I can get a
fuck's sake.
Just so I can get a realization.
Here we go again.
Can you say it again?
Sorry, bro, I just run down the stairs.
I have no idea what I'm talking about.
He's tired.
Them COVID lungs.
Yeah, for real.
So was uni as good as people like really make it out to be? Like from what you've done, like, and what you experienced?
I'd say it's 50-50, 100%. I think some of the times I was there, I genuinely believe it was the best. But there was other times where I actually thought like it's not what I thought it was going to be. When I first got there, especially when I first went to Liverpool, I was so lonely up there. I went up there with someone that I was close with, but either way, I was very, very lonely up there. It was like as soon as I lost one group of friends there, it was like I had no pals. Whereas when I went to Roehampton, I treated it differently and I was kind of open to the situation more. And I think I'd like to say so far the best years of my life there.
Oh,
what stands out though? Like what particularly stands out? Would you say it's down to the football team? Do you think it's down to the nights out and, you know, sort of that sort of side of things? Or is it seeing the big smile on your mum's face when you graduated?
That did help. That helped with it all after dropping out of my first uni. That did help. But yeah. I think it was the football team. I mean, the nights out were great, but
banging.
I mean, they could have been.
Nights
been
out were great
sometimes.
Russia's dancing wasn't great. I've seen some videos, honestly.
The stiffness.
Please put the video.
I recorded that video and I remember that video, so I'll put it.
It looks like wooden spoon.
Yeah, we're not allowed to have that in. Yeah, so I think it is as good as people say, but you've got to be careful on like who you choose to hang around with as well.
I think as we mentioned, it's like Luke said, it's 50% of the time, because you can be really busy with your sports team going out and stuff like that. But you know, when lectures are over and you just come back to your room, you do feel loneliness. I think like you spend a lot of time with people, but then you spend a lot of time alone. And I think you have to choose your time sort of wisely of how you spend time with people and 100%. Interact with them.
Yeah, bro, you got to be completely like comfortable with spending time on your own, because if you're not, then I genuinely don't think uni's for you, because them hours that I spent in the library sitting on my own or in my room in Elm Grove just on my own, they're the hours where I kind of wish I was back at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Equally, it's a good time to learn like to be independent as well, and I think that's what uni sets you up to do in life as well.
Yeah,
I think it like comes as part of like how well you work as well, because if you get your work done early, which most of the time I didn't really, but sometimes if you've got your work done, all your friends have work to do and you're like, oh, like who wants to do this, who wants to do that, and then they're like, oh, I've got work to do, and it's like, oh, okay, now I just got time to chill by myself. Like, sounds nice, but after a long time it can be like, I'm just sat in my room doing nothing. It's like,
more of the story is don't be a tryhard. Just don't be a tryhard.
Really,
leave it to the last week. You'll be fine.
I wish that I was more productive with the time that I was doing nothing. Like now I'm on furlough where I have nothing to do. I'm kind of making the most out of my time.
But how easy was it to get influenced to do something and get away from your work at university?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so it's because of FOMO. FOMO is one of the
you look for an excuse, really.
Yeah.
I remember one night, it was a fez. It was on a Wednesday and I had something due on a Thursday. And I said to myself, you know what? I want to go fez. I had 3,000 words to do by Thursday, 2 p.m. I did half of it, stopped, went out to fez, came back, drank a boost.
I remember this. I remember this.
He's still doing them to this day.
Yeah, them nasty 35p energy drinks, Red Rooster.
Oh,
yeah, with a biryani from Londis.
Oh, nasty as fuck.
That is nasty.
Ask Matt.
Don't bring me into this.
Yeah, don't bring him down with you, right? You fucking dirty arse, old skunk breath.
Yeah, that
right?
was
curb it.
No, biryani.
That drink was about 29p, wasn't it?
Mate, the shopkeeper gave him the fucking money back.
Biryani from London, he was eating on the lawn.
I've got another question for you guys. Now, it's obviously aimed at everyone. We'll go with Matt first. So this is a question from one of the people that interact with us on Instagram. So keep doing that as well because it makes it more interesting. So did uni help with your confidence at all, Matt?
I don't think I was ever like not confident. I guess maybe
fucking shagger.
Nah. I think maybe in terms of like
hinder his chances.
I think maybe in terms of like meeting people, it definitely helps with that. And
Matt, I saw you in Shaw every night out after night out. Don't hide, bro. Don't hide. I saw you in Shaw, bro.
Matt was lurking, bro. Matt would be in the bushes like this, like, is there an after? Is there an after? What about you, Luke? Obviously, you mentioned that you'd been to like Liverpool before, and you said you hated it. But did the time that you had at Roehampton, obviously, I think we can all say that we made like the most of it. Do you know what I mean? Like, especially for like my third year, it was the best year of my whole 3 years. And obviously that was your master's year, Luke. So do you think that leaving on such a high, like you've taken a lot of confidence into like the working world and stuff like that?
I think, again, my last year was my best year as well because I was living off campus. I'd definitely recommend living off campus once you do make that group of friends. I lived on campus for 2-3 years and then I moved off only for 1. So I kind of missed out there. But in terms of confidence, yeah, like before I went to Roehampton, do you think I could have told like you 18 boys at the football team what to do? No chance. I wouldn't have been able to kind of manage a football team. And then I come through and 3 years, 4 years at the end, it just became kind of natural. I kind of miss managing something now. Do you know what I mean?
So is that sort of like a leadership sort of quality that you've taken into your working world?
Yeah, definitely. Although I don't really get the chance to like lead at work, I do have that kind of capability from like learning at a university.
So where did you get your confidence from? Is it just sort of being in that sort of like pack vibe? Do you know what I mean? Because obviously we've all been there. Like when you've got a group of mates out and you're on a night out, you do feel invincible. Like it's just a thing. Like you feel like we are the fucking boys, you know, and nothing's going to happen here. So do you think
the fucking boys?
It's true say. But do you think that's where it sort of like stemmed from? Like, you know, knowing that you always had people around you and, you know, nights out and getting like good grades. Do you think that's where it stemmed from?
Do you know where I think it came from? I think it came from scoring 25 goals a season, Greg.
Oh, done that once.
Listen,
no,
ask him how many times I assisted him.
No, on the level, it was probably that. I think because you had kind of your group around you, you always felt confident. When we was on nights out, it was always like a confident vibe all the time.
Mentality.
Yeah.
I think as well, Luke, in our second year, most of the team left and like yourself, like certain individuals had to step up, keep the team going.
Yeah, I mean, there was five of us left. There was 5 of us left, so we had to kind of come together and like actually kind of get a football team together. And then we picked up people like Theo and Naim.
Yeah, unfortunately,
mistakes are made.
Open the barrel, but
you guys were desperate. You guys were desperate then.
So Luke, back to you. So obviously we spoke about a few things, but what would you perhaps change about your university experience?
I think there's 2 things I'll change really. One of them is definitely that I should have gone to the library more. I should have spent a lot more time there and just actually studied. Although that wasn't the fun part of uni, I definitely should have done that.
That's the thing. I think people forget that you're actually there to study, not holiday, shag, drink, and get in trouble. Like, you're there to get a degree. So
but Luke says that he lost his library card within the first fucking week, and he's saying I should have gone more.
Greg sounded like my mum with that one as well.
Please,
there
man.
to study.
Look, you know, you got that long hair still. You know what I mean?
I think the other thing that I would change is kind of wanting the need for a relationship at uni. I don't think you need that. I think it's nice to have sometimes and on some days.
Part-time thing.
I mean, it sounds bad, but I don't think that you should try and settle down at uni, because although it's good when you are in them lonely times that we're sitting there and we're kind of in our rooms doing nothing, but I also think that it kind of isn't needed whilst you're there because you're there to focus on other bits.
I would disagree with that.
What? Why? You had like, were you a bigamist? Did you have like 7
Oh,
girlfriends?
no. Oh, of course. No, the reason why I would say that is because I went to uni as a lad thinking I'm gonna get with all these girls, yeah. And then
You're gonna shag all these girls.
I didn't. And then I wasn't looking for a relationship at all. But then I got with someone
that have found me.
Jeez, I can't even speak your mind without these people hating on me. But just come back.
I think at uni, you spend an unrealistic amount of time with your partner, especially once all your work's done in that last term or the second term, whatever it is, where your work's done by like, is it March? And then you've got like 2-3 months to do like until you move out of accommodation to just do nothing. You spend like an unrealistic amount of time with partners or whatever. And then it comes to the real world where you both got to work and both got to do this. And suddenly it's like a lot more difficult and you're like, oh, I'm not used to this side of the relationship.
Yeah, I mean, I had those sort of struggles. I'll openly say that. But that's why I think I learned a lot from it. And I think if I was to ever sort of have a relationship again, I'd certainly sort of like think about those sorts of things and definitely try and balance my life within theirs as well. Because like you say, you can definitely get lost in the sort of like romantic sort of land, because I think at the end of the day, uni's not fucking real. Do you know what I mean? Like it's in such a bubble, especially at Roehampton. It was a bubble where, you didn't even need to experience the outside world. There was so much like drama and stuff like that to just keep you going. And I think getting in a relationship early doors, I think it limits yourself, not only in sort of like a, going out sort of way, but like you say, you're spending so much time with someone, and let's just say that relationship doesn't work at the end of your first year, your second year.
Unlucky.
Well, but then you're also like on your own, you have no friends or like not as many friends, and then you're seeing your ex get with someone else and you're like, fuck my life, like this is so hard. And then, do you know what I mean? So you sort of built a rod for your own back, really. So I think just if you're gonna do that, be careful, man.
You know what though? You know what I would say? Yeah, I understand your points, but I would also say on the other side of that, I feel like it depends. If you are going to get into a relationship with someone, I think it depends on yourself and it depends on the person you're with. Like personally, obviously my girlfriend's still at uni. I am still at uni now, but obviously during COVID. But I still feel like it's about finding that balance. Obviously, having Monday to Sunday free. Don't spend Monday to Sunday together. You know, like every single day you're chilling with each other. You mean spend each other once, twice a week. It makes it more exciting. You feel like, in 5 days I'm going to see my girl, 3 days or 4 days. But if you're seeing it every single day,
so
it just becomes.
I think the thing is it's difficult.
Self-control.
Shut up, bro.
I definitely agree with you, Naim. I think that, like, if I maybe worked around things the way you're saying, it could have been a lot better. But as soon as I left uni, they were still at uni, and I went to work. It was like it just didn't work. I know it was probably like some was mine, some was that fault, some was just because it didn't work. But I think I think you're definitely right. It's about not spending as much time as you need to, like as you feel like you need to, when you really don't, because you can see them anytime you want.
It's hard to limit yourself though, isn't it? Because if you're both living you literally probably, if you're living in halls, you're probably a 5-minute walk away from each other, max.
Yeah, that's
and
mad.
If you're both like, oh, we got nothing to do, why would you not like spend it together? So it's just it's about getting like the right balance, and obviously that's difficult.
If things don't go your way and things don't work out, don't be hard on yourself. Like if it is for a situation like Luke or even in like my situation, don't be hard on yourself, because you're just living two different lives. Like it's nothing to do with other things. It's just like you say, just things just change, things happen. And that jump from, obviously I know we spoke about it in a previous episode, but that jump from uni to work life is heavy for some people. Like it slaps you in the face. Like you could be doing an all-nighter in the library with the boys until 6 a.m, but then you've got to be in too much time, you've got to be up at 6 a.m. working a 12-hour day. So don't be hard on yourself if things don't work out. And that's also with academic stuff. Like if you try your hardest, you can't ever just sort of say, oh well I fucked it, because you didn't. You just tried your hardest. So Yeah.
Yes, you can. If you're not first, you're last. Listen, the weakest ones die. Bro, get over it.
That's something I do think about though, Greg, like academically. Like in my last year, I was thinking, okay, if I get a 2-1 in my dissertation, I'm going to get a 2-1 overall. If I don't, then there's a chance I might not get a 2-1. So I needed to get a 2-1. But it's like, I do sort of think back and think if I just worked that little bit harder in my second year, it would have taken a bit of pressure off of me for my third year. But it's so hard. You get caught up in like going out society meetings, like sports teams meetings and stuff. And you just think like uni isn't, it's not really
meetings,
real.
yeah.
Meetings, how are we?
Meetings.
You know what I mean? It's
Hello,
not,
darling.
I've been
doesn't feel
expecting
real when
you.
you're there. It is like a bubble, and it's like a whole new world. And when you leave, I don't know about you lot, but I look back now and I think like I was a bit of a dickhead here and there, probably a lot more to like.
He's finally said it. Oh my God.
But you know what? I don't regret it because I had a good time. And do you know what I mean? I look back and sometimes think, oh, I was a bit childish. But at the time, I was having fun with it. It was a laugh. We all had fun.
The question I want to ask you boys is, do you regret going to uni? Do you wish you did something else?
Never.
No, I've made like some really good friends. And obviously, like, if I didn't go to uni, I don't know what my life would be like. Like, I don't know about you lot. My backup plan to if I didn't go uni, I had an apprenticeship at Quick Fit. So you would have seen me like changing car tires and that.
I would have been on the MIT.
Yeah, trust me. I'll be sneaking through your little
Don't be sneaking anywhere, bro.
Yeah, don't be sneaking anywhere, please, mate.
No,
I'll be sneaking anywhere, bro.
MOT little dodgy job. Oh no, it'll be all right. I'll be charging you, man, an extra £200 for something that costs like 50 quid.
Dickhead. Let's aim this one at Matt. So, Matt, what would you change about your uni experience?
I don't think there's a whole lot I would change regarding like what I've done. Maybe the only thing I could think of is maybe potentially like moving to like halls a bit earlier, because I had a lot of fun with it when I done that in my master's year. It was great having like the independence, and I did feel like I missed out a bit not being able to do that in my undergraduate.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, I think I've done everything as best as I could and had as much fun as I could. I was always sort of outgoing, even when sometimes I didn't want to be. I was just trying to put the effort in.
I think for me, I changed the toxicity of like uni and cliques. Like, it was, especially when you're in a sports team, like, trust me, I don't regret a single thing. But when you're in a sports team and, you know, you have like rival teams, etc., and just that sort of stuff just makes it so like toxic. Sometimes I loved it, don't get me wrong. But then I think back, like, for someone that is trying to sort of, let's just say, be friends with a lot of people and stuff like that, you will sort of get looked down upon if you try and be friends with like this person and that person, etc. And I think if I would change anything, I'd just change that, because I think at the end of the day, what we spoke about today about being lonely and stuff like that, I think everyone, about probably like 99% of people probably felt that at one point. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And then knowing that you have people like either on your back or you've done something that people are talking about just makes it so much worse. So I'd just change like the toxicity of it. If you want to like go do something, if you want to go speak to these certain people, if you want to go hang out with these certain people, if you want, you know, do this and that, just do it. But I think uni politics won't let you do that. Do you know what I mean? Like, there is a certain politics that you have to sort of like follow by if you want to sort of survive, if that makes sense.
It's definitely true. And I feel like touching on any like sport rivalries, like in another life, these boys would all be our best friends. Like, we're all the same lads. We all started in the same position.
Can't relate.
Trying out.
You lot are lying, man. They actually would have been.
If I could change things, I would say, do you know what I mean? Get me in less drama. Do you know what I mean? Don't involve me in that stuff. It made a lot of my time fun. Do you know what I mean? Like, part of it is like, it's horrible, but at the same time, it's like, my life would be so boring. It's a laugh, like, do you know what I mean? And that's one thing that I think, like, uni is not, like, it doesn't feel like real life when you're there. It's separate to the real world. I look back at it now and I just think that place was like, how was that like 3 real years of my life? Like, just doesn't seem natural.
It goes so quick, those 3 years. I don't even remember what happened like in my 3 years I was there now.
Yeah, Pat, I have a question, yeah? If your little brother came to you and said, listen, Pat, I want to go Roehampton, what should I do? Like, what advice would you give him? What, just say to him, like, listen, expect this, do this. You know what I mean? What would you say?
The first thing I would advise him to do is join the Digby Lions, of course. because you got to keep it in the family. Second thing I would advise him to do is not get a red card in the biggest game of the year.
I'm ending the call after that.
Michael's turning off the call now as well.
Yeah. The thing I would just advise him is just be yourself and do what you want to do. Don't let anyone else pressure you into doing things. Be yourself from day one. If people don't like you, fuck them. You're going to find people that will get along with you.
Nice.
And you'll meet scumbags like I've met. Advice I would just give to everyone is just loosen yourself up, go and enjoy yourself, spend the time with the people you want to spend time, join a sports team, join a society, and just don't be a dickhead on nights out, because there's so many of them. Yes, exactly. And just have fun.
One thing I'm actually just gonna
study.
I'm just gonna expand on that actually, about being a dickhead on a night out. The worst thing is the next day when you wake up and you don't just have a hangover, you got that hangover anxiety of what did I say, what did I do? And then you walk around uni and you think, I probably said something to you.
Yeah, I think for a lot of people, it's their first experience with alcohol for a lot of people as well. So people might not always know how to sort of cope with that, and you do have to take things slow sometimes.
I think that it's mad beer fear that I used to get, bro. Like there'd be so many times, where like Naim would come to me and was like, bro, like, do you know what you said? And I was like, what? And he was like, and he told me, I'm sure, for fuck's sake. And then
one time Luke done that to me after it was Christmas Grand, I think it was. That night I was,
Tell the story, bro.
Expand, bro.
Why are you scared, bro?
Think I'm opening up my business to the internet. You must be waved.
Bro, the worst one for me was when I woke up after I had been banned by RSU.
Me and Naim were there when that happened.
Yeah, neither of them like told me anything that was happening. They just thought I was in the right. And then like after everything like everyone was telling me, like it just sounded like I was so in the wrong.
It's not that. It's the fact me and Matt were in the smoking area and we see like Luke head on like face to face with a security guard. So we're like, obviously we're gonna back Luke. We're like, oh, what's up? I'm backing Luke the whole time. 5 minutes later, apparently tried to punch a security guard. I was like,
oh no.
I was like, what can I do? I can't back him anymore. I can't back him. I'm like, the guy, he got kicked out. I can't even back it. I'm like, oh, you tried banging the guy. I was like, oh.
I'm fucking Palace, bruv. I'm Palace. Fucking can't.
Up the Palace. No, I mean, that's what I mean when Pat was talking about don't be a dickhead. Like, don't be that guy like I was trying to be there.
Yeah.
That is one thing I'll always say. Just try and be a nice person, even if you don't.
Yeah, but how many of those people were there at Roehampton?
Yeah,
about so many.
The whole population. But I mean, there's a limit on what we could do. Do you know what I mean? We could have been a lot nicer to a lot more people.
I think we could have done as well. Like looking back on it, there 100%. Are situations not only with like nights out and stuff like that, but even to just like people, I could have been so much nicer. I think we can all say that we got too absorbed in the whole sort of like football and fucking sort of like lifestyle, which is just not healthy. Mate, I mean, that's obviously very vague. Obviously, like none of us have had sex. We're all virgins. But
that's not you with your fucking
with that haircut, definitely, bro.
Oh, shut up, bruv. You stink of Watsits. Like you actually do, bruv. I was smelling
I can smell it through here.
Wait, do you have a pack of Watsits there?
Wait. Let me get a prop.
Yeah, of course you do, bro.
He's going to go down a can of Coke.
Yeah, Monster Munch. Bet you suck your finger as well after. Get all them crumbs off.
All right, Greg. Fuck you know, dude. We've kicked him off. Yeah. Greg's kicked off now. He's rattled.
Greg's hurt off.
Don't talk about the hair. Don't talk about
I wish I wasn't such a dickhead to you. I bet you suck your fingers.
Greg was literally just talking about, I wish I was nicer to people.
Yeah.
You smell on Watsits straight away.
Greg's the one that said he was the nicest out of me, him, and JB as well, by the way.
That's so true.
I think that might actually be true.
Comment down below who you think is the nicest. Comment down below.
If you think JB or Greg is...
Thank you, Luke. You're a real one.
Boys, the one thing I wanted to say is, do you know what I miss? I miss fucking pre-drinks, because some of them were so lit.
Bro, remember the one... Oh, you weren't there, Pat, where someone's kitchen after the strip. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Pat, mate.
Oh, my God. That was mad.
There was like a good 100 people. Naim had his top off, him and Chippy on a table. Like. trying.
Bro, I was there. I was there.
Was
yeah,
you?
old boy.
Man, I was there.
Pre-COVID, I look back at that now and think, how was that many people in close proximity?
It was triple digits. It was triple digits.
Crazy. What a
mad.
You got to add some of them videos in here if it doesn't.
Wait, whose room was that in? Like whose?
Dayan's kitchen.
Oh yeah, it was because I went for a shit in his room during that pre-drink.
Shout out, Dayan.
Risky business.
Shout out, Dayan.
Stop! I need to mute all of you. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. I'll do that again. That was shit.
Make sure you follow at the United Locker, all platforms. Boom. Cheers.
That bit will be getting edited out. I love it.
That is edited straight away.
You slag. So thank you everyone for watching the third episode. Oh, just shut the fuck
Sorry, that was accident. Sorry, I lagged.
Right, thank you for watching the third episode of What's New, Lads? Time to Talk. It's been a really great episode talking about obviously like our uni experiences, the ups and downs, and some advice to anyone that's watching or who is thinking of going to university. But no, yeah, also thank you for everyone that obviously watched the last episode and that you've watched this episode. Make sure you give it a like. Next week, we're doing something pretty cool. We're going to be doing a Valentine's Day special. I was going to say fucking shaggers, but I can't say that. Us romantic geezers, in the wise words of what Theo just said. Yeah, we're going to be talking everything about Valentine's Day. So also pretty more serious side of it, so like loneliness and like mental health and whatnot. But also some of our spirit experiences, maybe some funny experiences as well. And yeah, we're just going to try and tackle that and yeah, hopefully give some really good advice whilst also making a really fun episode. If you have any suggestions on what you want us to talk about within that episode, either comment down below or we'll do an Instagram thing again like we do every week. Till then, thank you for everyone for watching and see you guys soon.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.